We're approaching the end of the first week of Contra Guns, and I have been having an absolute blast. I just wanted to show the progress I've made. So I am using the tactical battle vest and the sneakers. Both of those improve my movement speed, and I've managed to level them up a fair bit. Just going to have a quick look at the weapons I'm using. So I've got the drone in my number 1 equipment slot. And then I've got the monkey in the second one. The monkey's got a lower activation cost and sometimes is preferable. The drone wins games. This is my first of my 2 main weapons, the Chris Vector, which I've leveled up quite a bit. I've managed to put the top scope on it. I've basically maxed it out with the best clip, the best ammo, the best sight and the best stock, which means I've got really good movement speed. It does good damage. And then my second one is this machine gun, which again, apart from the scope, I've managed to completely max it out with all the best gear, and it just absolutely rinses people. I've also managed to level it up significantly, so I've got the bonus there, which is good. The rest of the bonuses should be good. I'm using this sniper rifle, but I don't really use it much, and I'm using this shotgun. I've not done much to this other than add this cool muzzle to it. I've also got the optic. I think that must have come out of a crate or something because I didn't buy it. Yeah, I'm using a Glock and the knife, but I'm not really bothered about those things in particular. I only ever use them if I need to for a quest. So I've not really leveled those up. So I have managed to totally finish the battle pass, and once I did, I decided to pay the £10 and buy it to get all of the stuff. You get some decent gear in there, like the crate opening is very, very useful for leveling up. But ultimately, you don't need to buy this. You can totally play free to play if you want to. Let's just have a quick look at the skills as well. So you can see I've got Rifle Mastery to level 9, which is very, very useful. I've put a lot of stuff into the other things. Level 7 Armor Core has been good, and the Vitality boost at level 8 has been decent. And then I'll just let you look at this. I'm not going to go through it, but these are the upgrades I've managed to make to the skills. Alright, let's play some games. I'd like to encourage anybody watching to join our clan. Our clan is called N-Strike Elite, and we've got the tag Nerf. That's because we came over from Nerf Super Blast as a group. Yeah, come and join us. We're currently ranked 30th in the world, and we will be climbing that leaderboard, I promise. Alright, so I'm using the machine gun here, so what I've done is just run straight up to the front at the beginning on the right hand side, and I'm just going to try and disrupt my opponents coming out of the spawn point so that they can't try and establish control of the middle of the battlefield. Did a decent job there. I've had to fall back now and we need to reload. It does take ages to reload this machine gun. Like quite often, if I'm nearly dead, I'll just switch weapons and wait until I'm dead and then come back in with a fresh gun. When I'm fighting from near my spawn point, I tend to use the rifle until at least we get control of the middle of the battlefield, and then when I'm up front and fighting at a slightly shorter range, I tend to use the machine gun. So I use the rifle for long to medium range combat, and I use the machine gun for medium to short range combat. Assault rifle is okay at medium range, but the machine gun is better than it. But you can still, as long as you're aiming for the head with the assault rifle, you do well. If you're just shooting people in the torso, you're not going to do that good. You might win one-on-one maybe, based on your levels, but you're going to die pretty quickly. Alright, so we're doing a decent job sniping here. You can see I've got the monkey active, but I'm also very close to the drone. If you can support it, the drone just absolutely puts your team ahead. It should come in, get 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 6 kills. And that can kind of swing the momentum of the game in your favour. It is essentially a race. So I've been killed there. You can see I've got my things active, so we're going to summon in the drone. Then we're going to switch to the machine gun because I want them to fight me, not the drone. I don't want them shooting at the drone. And if they do shoot at the drone, I'm just going to mow them down completely. So get a poison grenade out there. If you've watched my grenade videos, you know I think you should use the grenades that you buy for gold and the healing packs that you buy for gold, not the ones that you buy for cash. And I think even if you're not using them, you should do that anyway. The reason for that is that when you're dead, you've got the option to buy grenades. It doesn't give you like are you sure? You can just click the button and buy the stack. And I don't know about any of you, but I keep catching those stacks accidentally because obviously you're in the middle of combat and you're pressing buttons when you die, and quite often you're dead before you realise it, and I keep buying stacks accidentally, which is really frustrating. But what you don't want to be doing is accidentally buying stacks of like smoke grenades with your cash, with your credits, sorry, because your credits, as I predicted, are the currency you're going to need the most. Once you get your upgrades up a few levels, that those credits run out very, very, very quickly. I think I'm at the level at the moment where a lot of my stuff needs about 5k credits for a single upgrade. Some of my mastery stuff needs 15,000 for an upgrade. So you don't want to be accidentally spending your credits on useless smoke grenades and things like that. So yeah, I would switch to the ones that you buy for gold just to protect your credits. It's not great though that this is a mechanic in the game. Like, it means I keep wasting gold. I've got massive stacks of all three of those things, and it's not because I've been actively buying them or from I've been unlocking them obviously from the battle pass and stuff. But I've just got massive stacks of them because I keep buying them by accident. It's something I'm really, really frustrated about, because obviously you can buy gold for real cash in this game, and there shouldn't be a mechanic where it basically tricks you into spending a currency that you've spent real world money on. So I have submitted a formal complaint to the game developers. They need to reverse it. They need to do something about it, even if they just give you the ability when you edit your custom screen to move where those purchase options are, because if they don't, I'm going to be requesting a refund for my battle pass, going to be requesting a refund for the introductory pack that I bought, and it's going to seriously put me off playing this game because it's very, very annoying, and to be honest, I think it amounts to fraud. And I'm the kind of person that when I get a beamer bonnet about stuff like this, stuff like fraud, I'll make a song and dance about it. You know, it looks like this company's run out of Germany. They're going to have pretty strict laws, I would imagine, around this stuff there. I am not above putting a complaint into whoever regulates stuff like that. It is a new game, and I appreciate that it takes time to do stuff. I'm giving the developers a few weeks grace to sort it out, but if they don't sort it out, believe me, I am going to kick up a huge fuss about this, and it might even ultimately put me off playing the game, which would be a shame because it is so much fun, and I'm doing very well, as you can see. I'm like on a rampage. Good victory there. Sorry that I just ranted over that entire game, but I needed to get that off my chest. It's pissed me off, as you can tell, and it should piss you off as well, because I imagine it's not just happening to me. Might be the fact that I'm playing on an iPad, not a phone. Maybe it's happening to me more than it would when I play on a phone, but it shouldn't be happening at all. Like, it's simply unacceptable. But I'm not going to keep going on about it. I'm going to give the devs a chance to fix that problem. But yeah, if they don't, I am coming for them on it. Yeah, I do think it's fraudulent behaviour. Alright, so I'm doing some sniping here. I've been killed a couple of times. On this map, you've got a couple of options. You can kind of snipe, and if you do, you should probably do that from up top. Or you can rush forward, and if you're doing that, you want to be using something like a machine gun or a shotgun. So I'm using the machine gun to push my way forward. Machine gun's great in these close quarter battles. It absolutely mows people down. Shotgun, really, really good in this position as well. I also see people doing quite well with the shield and pistol tactic, but that is super vulnerable to grenades and gas grenades and stuff like that. But then again, I suppose any tactic is vulnerable to gas grenades and regular grenades. You can't always get out the grenades in time. They do tend to just like one-shot kill you, which a grenade should do that if it lands close enough to you. So I've had to hit a heal, which was really poorly timed. The reason I did that was I had the monkey active, so I just wasted a heal. But I was basically trying to rush forward with the monkey so that when I died, the monkey would kill people. That's exactly what happened, and as you can see, we are doing really well. So we're at 19 kills, now at 20 kills to 11. So our opponents under the cosh, they're going to have to do something significant to come back from this. I don't think their sniping alone is going to do it. They are winning the sniping war. I'm not going to be fighting them on the sniper front too much. I am going to be mostly focusing on the ground game, because this machine gun just gives me a huge advantage, especially with all of those really nice perks that I've unlocked by leveling it up and adding all the attachments. So you can see there, accidentally bought a stack of poison grenades. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Didn't mean to do that. I've got well over 100 of them, and the reason I've got well over it, and I just did it again, look at that. Yeah, not meaning to do it, really annoying. No way to reverse it either. But if this has been happening to you, I'd encourage you to also complain about it. The more noise we make, the better. To do that, you go to the settings, click file bug report, and then change in the drop down from filing a bug report to filing a complaint. And then just stick the problem in there. That's exactly what I did. Did that a couple of days ago. I've not heard from the devs yet. Not surprised. Brand new game. I'm sure they're very, very busy. And reportedly, I also playing the game quite a bit, is what one of my teammates tells me. So I hope they're enjoying it. But if they are playing the game, surely this is happening to them too. Now, I assume it doesn't matter. I assume if you're a dev in this game, you have infinite of any resource you want. But regardless, it seems to me to be a completely deliberate tactic on their part to get people to spend their in-game currency on grenades and med packs that they don't necessarily want, and then you're going to be more likely to run out of resources, not be able to level up, and spend your real hard-earned cash on this game. Now, me personally, I'm quite happy to spend some of my hard-earned cash on this game. I'm not going to wail. Wailing, I know it's important to keep games running, but it takes the fun out of it. But I don't mind spending a little bit here and there just to help my development, buying the battle pass, stuff like that. You know, where you get where the game offers you a good deal. I'm not above spending my money on it because it supports the game, as does watching the ads. Make sure you're watching the ads. I do want this game to succeed and do well, and at this point, that in my mind is entirely dependent on them fixing that very specific issue. Right, I keep going on about it. I really should stop, because at the moment we're doing some cool sniping, so I'm showing off the sniping ability of this rifle. Like I say, as long as you're getting headshots. Did that guy just teleport? It felt like that guy just teleported. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the game that enables you to do that, so I think that must have been lag or something. But it doesn't matter because I shot him in the head and killed him. Right, so we're pushing forward with the machine gun, mowing people down, finally get killed. We were low on ammo and health there. This guy is right up in our spawn point, so he's pushed up on the left-hand side. Managed to take him out. When I'm sniping like this, by the way, I'm watching the minimap more than I'm watching my own screen. If somebody comes into your line of sight, the auto aim will lock onto them, and that'll let you know that you need to now make sure you're focusing on your screen and not the minimap. But in the meantime, I do keep an eye on the minimap, because if someone sneaks up on me while I'm zoomed in looking down the field, I'm a sitting duck. Right, doing really well with the monkey and the machine gun at their spawn point. Get a good few kills. Drop a grenade before I die. Monkey's still up there wreaking havoc, as you can see, and that has put us nicely in the lead. We're at 20-14. So it's not a done deal yet, this game, but we are in the lead, and we're back to sniping now. You can see, because of the high rate of fire and the damage to heads, it works as a sniper. This rifle is amazing for headshots. Without headshots, it's super mediocre. But yeah, you should be aiming for the head most of the time, unless you're using like a shotgun or something. When I'm using the machine gun, I don't tend to zoom in and aim for people's heads too much. The aim's not brilliant on the machine gun either, but its rate of fire more than makes up for it. You can just pepper bullets. You do get headshots, and they tend to be accidental a lot of the time. But yeah, I'm just quite happy to just gun people down like that. Right, we've got monkey active and we're forward. I'm getting shot at from behind. I'm probably going to die soon. We'll just turn around and manage to take that person out. I thought they would have killed me. I thought they would have shot me in the back of the head. They didn't. Get taken out finally, but not before I've put us massively in the lead. So you can see we only need 3 more kills now. Our opponents can't catch up. We're a done deal at this point. Just need the 3 kills. Hopefully someone will walk into my sniper range. All my teammates might take care of it. We only need the 1 more kill. See on the minimap there's people coming up the left hand side. Teammates are there to deal with them, and they get the final kill. couple of key tips that I've picked up while playing this week. Number one is play the game. Play the game, play the game, play the game. The more you play, the more resources you collect. It rewards you very well with your cash your credits for victories. You get loads and loads and loads of gold just by playing through the game, watching all the ads, opening all the crates, etc. What I wouldn't do at this point is be spending your gold opening crates. Based on the way the game works, I think as I progress, I think opening crates is going to become one of the primary uses of gold, and I'm going to have to spend some time figuring out what's in the crates and what's good deals and what's not. But at this point, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be spending your credits on anything at all other than upgrades. And at this point, I wouldn't be exchanging your gold for any in-game currency of any kind whatsoever. Keep your gold as gold, build up your credits through grinding through the game. As you rise through the ranks, as you rise up the leagues, you get better rewards per game as well, so there is an incentive to level up. And I found as I level up, some games can be quite hard, but you're still getting rewarded for your losses. But I tend to have more victories than losses anyway. And what I would do is I would figure out quite quickly what your preferred style of play is and take a look at the guns in those categories. Properly compare the stats of them and decide which one you think is the one that you want to use. I'd also make sure you look at, like, as you level the guns up, and it's going to take a long time to level them up, you get perks and you get rewards. So I think the machine gun, I think at the third level, off the top of my head, gains the ability to heal. So it heals you for some of the damage you do. Super Blast players, as we know, the Rivonix was one of the most powerful guns in that game, and it was partly down to that ability. Few of the blasters in Nerf Super Blast would heal as they did damage, and they were always really, really resilient. So that, to me, makes that gun very, very useful. I'm probably weeks or months away from getting to that stage, and I'm certainly not just going to dump loads of money into the game to get there quickly. I'm going to get there naturally, but to me, that's my primary goal at the moment in the game, is to get to the point where my machine gun heals. I think at that point, I'm probably just going to be a machine gun and 99% of the time do far less sniping. But yeah, so pick the weapons that you want to focus on, and then make sure that you're unlocking them however you need to do that, and then focus on saving up your gold to buy the absolute top tier of all the attachments for them. It's all incremental gains. I would say if you're kind of getting frustrated, buy the bottom tier, the stuff for 100 gold, until you're at the point where you can buy the stuff for 1200 gold rather than buying the 400 gold stuff, because if you do that, you're ultimately going to slow down your progression. But yeah, pick the one or two guns that you really want to focus on and focus on them. If you can, request blueprints, so you need to be in a clan to do that. In our clan, there's only a couple of players who are requesting blueprints. You should all be requesting blueprints. You should all know what you want to level up and be requesting blueprints if you can. We will donate, absolutely will donate. I'd encourage you to donate anything that you're not actively trying to upgrade as well. This kind of mechanic of trading within clans, I've got experience of that from South Park Phone Destroyer, and generally the best thing to do is to just focus on what you're upgrading and then just donate anything else. As long as you're in a good active clan, they will fill your donation requests and you'll level up quicker. You are very limited in what you can donate as well to your teammates, so it's not like you're just gonna lose all your blueprints donating. But yeah, so use that function, that's really important. Personally, I think movement speed is something that you should focus on in this game. I leveled it up quickly and it's done me a world of good. You do also run quicker holding the knife as well, so practice that. My last tip at this point is to focus on the equipment slots, your 2 equipment slots. Figure out what works for you and for your play style, and then make sure that you practice with them. Figure out the optimum times to use them, how to use them. So both of mine involve rushing forward towards my opponent's base. So the monkey activates quicker, the drone activates slower, but basically both of those things, they're very offensive items, and I want them at my opponent's spawn point to keep them under the cosh when they're spawning in, and I want to be forward with the machine gun, trying to attract the focus of fire towards me and not towards them. They are harder to kill, but they can be killed. The drone, especially, if a couple of people focus rifle fire on it, they'll just blow it up straight away. But if it's left to run rampant, it will just destroy people. I've not unlocked the drone that does fire. I've come up against it and, it pretty much killed you instantly. But it looks like its range is quite short, whereas the machine gun drone has got a longer range. It's also got finite ammo. That's something I figured out. As you level it up, it gets more ammunition. But I guess if you kind of drop it and it dumps all of its ammo, great. It's done its job, hasn't it? It's done as much damage as it can do in that activation. And then at that point, it's just a bullet magnet, I suppose. So yeah, I do like the drone. I tend to use the monkey more in games where I'm teamed up with people and we're just rinsing through them. But what I would do in a situation like this, I would have the monkey active, I'd drop my poison mist grenade in there, and then I would just do as much damage as I could, relying on the monkey to then finish the job off. I'm going to do that now, so let's summon the monkey. We're going to use the machine gun and we're just going to run forward and wreak havoc at the spawn point. So straight away we get a double kill there. Looks like I'm getting attacked from that angle. It is a couple of seconds before you can shoot someone when they spawn in, so you can't completely spawn kill them the way you could in Nerf Super Blast. But as soon as you get the ability, you do, and look at that, worked perfectly. Alright, that's enough for this video. I'll keep uploading gameplay footage. Thank you for watching. See you soon.